Well, today we're going to make churros, or churros as some people would say. And we're going to make a choux pastry type base, which is much lighter and much nicer to eat than the old pastry that used to be made by the poor people in Spain for breakfast and so on, where they only mixed flour, baking powder and water basically. Water and butter and a tiny bit, 2 grams of salt, and we'll bring this to the boil. We add the flour and stir that in. Don't be afraid to really boil and stir this really well. There, look, it's coming away from the sides of the pan. See that? Great, finished. This is very, very hot and we need to mix the eggs in here. What will happen? The eggs will actually set. So that's not such a good idea. It's better to let that cool down a bit. So I'm going to set this aside, and while I'm waiting for it to cool down, we make the chocolate sauce. For the chocolate sauce, that's even more simple. We'll put in the milk and the cream. That makes it real lush. And the sugar. Bring this to the boil. And while we're waiting for it to boil, we'll chop up the chocolate. And I'll put this chocolate into a bowl. Once it's boiling, we'll just pour it on the chocolate. And stir it a little bit. And once it's all melted, chocolate sauce is finished. Lush, yum. Now we're back to the churros. I'll just put that into a bowl where it's a bit more convenient to add the eggs. I really believe in measuring everything so I don't get any surprises. And so with eggs it's the same. I mean, why do I weigh eggs? It's simple. I don't trust the chickens, you know. This is still warm but not hot. I now have to incorporate the eggs very slowly so that we don't get any lumps. Little bit by little bit. So that's getting nice and smooth. Now, if I've done everything right, this should just flop off the spoon like this. Next step is to fry them. So, here we have a piping bag with a star nozzle. Okay, so I put the piping bag over here to make it easier for me to fill it up. Now just fill this mixture into it. I'm using canola oil. It's healthy. In Spain, they always used to use olive oil. A, because it was readily available and cheap at that time. Olive oil can be a little bit strong for sweet things, so canola will do me nicely. I'll have to heat this up. This should be about 180 to 120 degrees, but I don't have a thermometer, most people wouldn't, so I'm just going to put a little bit in to test it. It should actually blister. Oh yeah, that's fine. Just about the right temperature. Looks pretty good, eh? Now, if you wanted to make churros that are nice and straight, you could actually pipe them onto a piece of baking paper. And then we'll just put that into the oil like this, upside down. Look at that. Now we can take this paper off, like so, and turn them around. Okay, so when they're golden brown, which takes about 2-3 minutes, take them out, and I have a bit of absorbent paper here, so the excess of the oil runs out. We don't want them to be too fatty. You may have liked that, But I like them more rustic. So what I do, I usually just go like that. So when it's half baked, we'll turn that spiral around. So here we have the churros, and some people like to turn them in a mixture of cinnamon and sugar. Put a bit of sugar in there. Cinnamon. That's it. Oh, is it nice?
Yeah.